and it's up to you to then use it wisely. And back to tell us exactly how we can do that is, of course, Casper. He's back. Money Matters is back. And today, Casper, we're talking about something that affects every single South African: the fuel increase in this month of April and what it means for your budget. Casper from DCGsa, welcome back. You've been away for a bit. Good to have you back, man. How are you feeling?
Good, man. Such a nice Easter, good time to spend with family. So back in action and with a bang, with a nice fuel price increase. I'm sure everybody had a good shock. Everybody's still what's going to happen next month.
Yeah.
But I think it's a very important thing. And even when things went down, well, how did we adjust? We probably spent a little bit more. The economy was a little bit more positive. Interest rates came down. So this is something that we're going to touch on today. What is the impact? And sometimes we forget the bigger impact.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get into it, man. Fuel price increase was definitely significant this month. Why is this such a big concern?
Mr. K, it impacts everything, and we tend to forget that. South Africa's economy is very much linked to our fuel price, and we saw it with the very high interest rates. It didn't really curb the inflation that much, but as soon as fuel prices came down, our inflation came down, and we could drop interest rates and all of that. So it impacts transport, it impacts food prices, the cost of goods. Something funny to notice, is toilet paper. It went up to 169 Rand, and then, fuel prices came down and it went down again to $100 for 18 pack of 2-ply. And it's such a funny mechanism to measure it with, because what is the price of paper? Even if it's toilet paper, and it's the same. It's the same for our money. The rand strengthened. All of that was impacted, and the fuel price and the oil price really does impact our South African consumer and businesses massively. I mean, we're still feeling the impact of the last 2.5 years. Yes, we had a little bit of relief now over the last 8 months or so. But now again, these fuel prices might not have. Yes, it's got an immediate impact on you when you go fill up your vehicle.
Yeah.
But the impact it's going to have is going to be next month, the month after, on the grocery prices, on the meat prices, on the basic things like toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Speaking of toilet paper, how does this actually impact the average household?
Yeah, I think a lot less disposable income. Immediately, you need to now fill up that car. That same taking the kids to school is now almost 50% up if you're filling up with diesel, So you're going from almost 20 Rand to 28 Rand, almost 29 Rand. So it has a massive impact. So suddenly I need to accommodate 40% extra for my transport for the month.
Sure.
And that boils down to everything else. And then what about next month? Next month, my bread, my toilet paper, my meat, my everything goes up. So not only this month's my traveling cost. And unfortunately, what do consumers do? Simply your money doesn't go as far. So what does the basic consumer do? The ones who don't plan for it grab towards credit.
Yep.
And then we see that bad snowball that we saw 2 years ago. We saw the interest rate hikes. We saw people taking up too much credit, overextending themselves. And then we're going down a bad cycle again. And unfortunately, this is a perfect storm, which can really, really harm the South African consumer.
Absolutely. So now, Casper, what do consumers, or what can consumers do right now to try and curb the impact of this?
I think consumers need to adjust immediately. Consumers need to immediately look at their budgets, immediately do that cutbacks, and and add extra for next month's food price increases, for all of that coming as well. And consumers tend to forget about that. And they wait until, oh no, I've got nothing left in my bank account now. I suddenly need an emergency loan or another credit card, or I'm going to start utilizing my credit card. Was positive, but unfortunately, that is how markets work. What is the trust in the oil price currently? Today, America opens their mouth, it's good. Oil price comes down, everybody's positive. Petrol is going to come down, and then next moment, you've got bad news like this morning again, and now oil prices going up again. So plan for the worst and adjust your budget accordingly. Plan for that extra expense, and rather, plan for worst case scenario and hope for the best still. Maybe it isn't that bad. We all saw what happened last month. We were expecting 9 rand for diesel or 10 rand for diesel, and it only went up 7 rand. The same with the petrol. It only went up with 4 rand instead of the 7 or whatever rand it was supposed to go up to. So there is still ways where we can mitigate these things, but as a country, but we're not going to go delve into that right now. Let's rather deal with what the consumer can do. What can you do? Immediately sit down with your budget. Plan for that worst case. Plan for that extra cost on your groceries. Maybe buy some extra meat and stuff this month and freeze it. Then when next month, when it does go up, that you have planned for it and budgeted around it. And I think it's so important that daily tracking of your spending happens. I think one of the other mistakes consumers do, instead of doing that monthly planning or bi-weekly shopping, they start when they're in a panic or in a worry. They rather want to spend daily. And we see that people end up spending double as much or sometimes 3 times as much as they should when you start spending daily. So keep your tracking of your expenses for daily, but plan your shopping bi-weekly or monthly to help you mitigate those extra expenses. Because if you're going to start doing it daily, you might end up spending a lot more. So instead of lessening the burden on yourself, you're worsening it.
And honestly, you're spending more on fuel as well if you're going to do it daily. So
there we go.
Yeah. So, Casper, you recently ran the Shed the Debt Challenge. How does that tie into this conversation?
So I think it was so important, and what a wonderful time. Everything was looking positive. 15 years of DCG that we celebrated, and instead of doing a birthday bash, we thought, let's do something educational, something tangible for consumers. Yes, interest rates were coming down, fuel prices were coming down. Nobody expected April to happen, but then it did, and luckily we did that challenge, and that challenge really helped people that followed it to build habits and identify wasteful spending and take control of their finances. So it was such perfect timing to have that wonderful challenge to help consumers, and we had a lot of buy-in from the community. It was wonderful to see people tracking, people downloading the monthly budget, the debt planner, the expense planner. People did credit checks that we offer for free, obviously, to see what is the actual expense, what is the total debt burden. And you can only make changes if you know what's going on. You can't change something that you have no clue about. And I think sometimes people just live with, it goes off by debit order, I'll be fine. And before you know it, you've got an overdraft, you've got a credit card, and you need another credit card. So I think it was so important that Shed the Debt Challenge, even today you can follow. Even today you can download that budget tracker, you can download that debt tracker, and start planning your life. It's something that is there for free, where you can fill in it on your own. And if you need help, you can obviously contact us, and we can help you go through the debt planner, go through the budget planner, or help you with a full financial assessment, so that you can plan for the fuel price, for the grocery increases that are coming. So yes, it was the Shed the Debt Challenge can really assist the consumers that actually followed it.
By the way, if you participated, you might want to stay tuned, Okay? Just stay tuned till the end. So now, Casper, let's talk about those who are already in dire straits, those who are already struggling. What can they do?
So let's just fall back on scripture there, Mr. K. Proverbs 21 verse 5 says, "The plan of the diligent leads surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty." And I think that is a scripture that is so true. Um, if you are diligent and if you deal with your issue or your problem or your predicament, especially when it comes to finance, immediately, I think people's mindset is to avoid it, and that unfortunately leads to bad outcomes, and we seek for quick fixes. We see all the scams and all of that happening due to our need to want to quick fix things, thinking tomorrow our problems are going away. So have a plan in place. And that is what we tell consumers on a daily basis. I mean, even with the Shed the Debt challenge, plan. Be diligent. Know where your things are going. Understand. And if you're not financially literate, here is how you can become financially literate. So put your plan in place. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. So don't ignore it. Get a proper assessment and act early. The sooner you address a problem, especially financial problem, the more options you have available to yourself.
Absolutely. All right. Now, Casper, before we wrap up, we of course need to celebrate the winners of the Shed the Debt Challenge. And this is exactly what I was referring to earlier. Okay? So, Casper, let's get to it.
Absolutely. So do you have that drum roll for me? You don't.
Okay,
I didn't.
I'll do a literal one. Okay, here we
Okay.
go.
And the winner for the 30-day challenge is Monique Mentor. Well done, Monique. We're going to get in touch with you. We've also posted it on Facebook. Get in touch so we can get that 2,000 Rand Take a Lot voucher to you. And then obviously the winners of the two other hampers are Tristan Simon and Manisha Ramden. Well done to the participants. And once again, that was really something for education purposes, to help you to take part, to chat in the community, to get your friends and family chatting and your colleagues chatting about finances and about budgets. And it's all about education. And you never know, your I'm in tag or your I'm going to do my budget might have sparked somebody else that needed it.
Yeah.
And that's what that was all about. It's really educating our community and getting the word out to other people around you, people in your community, in your network, on your Facebook, to get their budgets in place, to help them have a debt planner and all of that. And thank you so much to all the participants. We hoped it helped. I'm sure it did help from the comments we got. It did, and it's so nice to give something away.
Fantastic stuff, Casper. Thank you so much for coming through. Always a pleasure, man. And yeah, we'll do this all over again next week. Are we not?
I believe so.
You're back next week, right?
I hope so.
Go
I don't know. Are you here next week?
Absolutely. I'm here tomorrow. I'm here straight after you leave.
Well, I'll see you on Monday.
All right, that's Money Matters done and dusted, helping you to take control of your finances one step at a time.
Was proudly brought to you by DCGsa.